that answer was quite logical and out of the box. So in continuation with my previous question, how do you rate a normal student of Bhopal if he or she is an aspirant for CAT or GMAT or GRE?
One thing that I would like to share, ma'am, here is that fortunately I've got the stage to I would share that students are quite conscious of learning mathematics. Unfortunately, what has happened till the date, the way they have been taught mathematics has been not so good. Means they are supposed to learn formulas and they are supposed to apply the formulas. There is no logic behind it. Whereas CAT requires logic, or any aptitude examination for that matter requires a good level of logic before you start solving the quantitative aptitude or mathematics ka question. What we focus on is passing on the logic rather than the formulas. Formulas are obviously necessary, but the logical part of the mathematics is far more beautiful and far more clear when students start understanding that way. So my assessment is that they need a lot of focus on mathematical understanding. So if I tell them, okay, what is the Pythagoras theorem, they would probably happily tell that AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. However, if I give them a particular question on the Pythagoras theorem, if top of the mind I am able to remember a question that, let's say there are two people, Mr. K and Mr. L. K is going in the north direction with the speed of 3 kilometers per hour and L is going with the speed of 4 kilometers per hour in the direction of east. What will be the shortest distance between them after 2 hours? This is the application of Pythagoras theorem. But if I ask the Pythagoras theorem, almost everybody would be aware about it. If I throw this question to them, they won't be able to solve it. Whereas this question is the extension of Pythagoras theorem. This is the problem. So what we do generally is we make them logical enough to understand the mathematical problems so that they can approach it. So in fact, fortunately, on 4th of November, I have session planned that is maths phobia to maths mania. So from the fear of mathematics to how do you start loving it and how to start solving it. That is the session. So we have a lot of such kind of sessions which we categorically conduct for students to, they can start loving mathematics and they can forget the fear they have been that have been developed so far.
Did I just had myself analyzed as well? I am a bit curious now, sir. How IMS different from other CAT coachings in Bhopal in terms of its pedagogy?
As we discussed, ma'am, earlier in the beginning of the interview, that we are very much student centric. So we do not have a 60 ka batch size or 70 ka batch size where everybody is coming, sitting, there is a teacher who is teaching and everybody is leaving, regardless whether they have understood the stuff or not. What we have is a very limited batch size. In fact, the highest batch size we have ever had is 34. And the average goes to around 18 to 20. There is a reason behind it. Now, we are pretty sure that is costing IMS as an institute a lot. But that focus on students. So what is the advantage of having 20 students in a batch? Number one, students do not feel shy of asking the question. So if a teacher is teaching and if a student is not able to understand, he raises his hand, sir, ye samajh nahi aaya, could you please explain it again? Brilliant, the problem solved. If he is sitting in 60 or 80 students or even 40 students, what would happen? There are 3 to 4 people who is asking the silly doubt. So student becomes conscious after some time. So he or she stops asking question. Number one reason. Number two reason, when you have only 20 students, the teacher himself knows, okay, this student is not able to understand this logic, or he is having a problem, or he's a bit more curious. So I would probably go ahead. I'll have a different plan of teaching altogether. That is the second advantage. It probably the combination of these two things is the reason that pedagogy differs, and that makes IMS Bhopal far more effective as long as the learning passing on is concerned. The second reason is that the team we have developed over the period of time. So everybody is so passionate here. Means I'm pretty sure that we have lectures going on till 9:30 in the evening. We have had teachers who would solve the doubts of the student on Zoom platform at 12 midnight. So student gives a call, he's writing a SIM card and suddenly has a doubt, he's not able to sleep, he'll give a call, sir, मुझे ये क्वेश्चन समझ नहीं आ रहा, हाउ डू आई सॉल्व? सो वी हैव टीचर्स हु विल go on Zoom and they'll solve the doubt. Similarly, the one-to-one mentoring aspect that we have done, that's the third best point I think I would share. One-to-one mentoring means we have a pedagogy where after every 15 days, student will talk to the mentor directly. So be it in Zoom or after the lockdown when physical entry was allowed. So we usually sit with the student for half an hour, understanding what he has done for last 15 days, what was the target, what did he achieve, what are the problems did he face in last 15 days. We give the solution, we compare the target versus achievement, we give the next target, that what he or she is supposed to do in next 15 days. That way the preparation goes very very careful. There is no scope of chance preparation at IMS Bhopal. We are very sure what we are doing and we want students to be sure what they are doing. So there is no chance factor that if you do this you might or might not achieve the result. Whereas at Bhopal, we virtual guarantee are given by us. Okay, if you do this, you'll obviously get the result. Probably these are the major reasons that why the pedagogy differs.
Your process is immaculate, Minhaz sir. Are you still allowing admissions, and how do students reach out to you or your team?
Ma'am, as long as batches are concerned, we have plan of starting 1 or 2 batches every month, obviously based on the demand of the student. So when we have a BSS specific batch, so only BSS students are there. When we have JLU specific batch, when we have LNCT specific batch, only LNCT students are there. This way we can manage them really well. So if they want a break, everybody would go on break, so that makes our operational task a little easier. So 1 or 2 batches are starting almost every month. So if a student needs to take an admission, he just need to go through the counseling process. Our counselor will also be guiding from the very first day that what kind of profile building activity should he do. So counseling process is very very necessary. He can't come at this center and tell, okay, take the fees and give me the admission. It cannot happen at IMS Bhopal. What will happen, we will sit, we will discuss the ideas with him, why he wants to do CAT and what is his plan of doing an MBA, what kind of profile should he be pursuing. After that entire discussion, we go ahead and take the admission. So if anybody wants to visit IMS Bhopal, obviously we are open. If online activity or online visiting is possible or necessary, so he can go to IMS Bhopal, he can Google IMS Bhopal and the first link probably can be clicked.
Thank you, sir, for your time. I think so this interview would help everyone to learn the reason as to why everyone is joining IMS Bhopal.
Thank you so much. Thank you.